right now on 5 on Your Side at 10.
Tonight, Election Day Eve. The polls open on both sides of the river in just 8 hours, and tensions are rising.
As long as I've been in politics, this is probably the dirtiest I've seen.
I think it's another one of his tricks just to try to make me look bad.
You may have seen online posts that former President Bill Clinton made hush money payments, much like the accusations against former President Trump. Our Verify team gets the facts on these false claims.
But first tonight, more severe weather is possible for parts of Missouri and Illinois on Tuesday into Wednesday. The threat this round of severe weather brings.
Tonight, a warm April night at the ballpark. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow, and that heat is expected to fuel strong to severe storms. Good evening. I'm Ann Allred. Mike has the night off. Right now, St. Louis is under an enhanced risk for severe weather tomorrow night, and we want to make sure you're prepared. Let's get straight over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell with the forecast. Scott?
Well, and this is not a complete clear-cut, slam-dunk kind of thing where we know we're going to have severe weather tomorrow evening. That's not the case. It's questionable at this point, and we can tell you that tonight, there's no problem out there. Just a lot of ground clutter on the radar screen. It's otherwise quiet. But like we saw the end of last week, another big storm system out to the west is pushing on to the east. And while that's creating rain and snow in the mountains out west, all that energy slides towards us as we head towards tomorrow night into early on Wednesday. Strong jet streams overhead. You'll have that cold front plowing in by early on Wednesday morning. And yes, it will be warmer and more humid going into tomorrow. So the stage is set for the potential of severe weather. But the stage, while it's set, the curtain has not been pulled open. It's breezy and warmer into Tuesday. The severe weather threat we think is mainly for later Tuesday night into the early hours on Wednesday. So late night severe storms are possible. Having said that, it's possible, but not a guarantee. We're talking scattered action as we head towards tomorrow later in the evening. Not widespread at this point. We'll be back in a few minutes. Give you a little explainer on why that is, Ann.
And you can get the latest weather first forecast anytime. Just text the word weather to 314-425-5355. In less than 8 hours, the polls will open in both Missouri and Illinois. Some of the closest races to watch are in St. Louis City, where the Board of Aldermen is being cut in half. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is live outside City Hall tonight. He caught up with candidates making their final push on the campaign trail today. Mark?
Each race took on unique shape and character throughout these last several months. In North City, a bruising campaign took an ugly turn in these closing days with allegations of underhanded and homophobic attacks. More on that in a moment. Also in Midtown, a challenging candidate says he just had more manpower and more shoe leather as he tried to outwork an incumbent who holds that seat now. As the sun sets on the final day on the campaign trail,
It's so nice to see you.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
candidates canvass the city in a last-minute push to get out the vote. Some wards were total blowouts in the March primary, but the new 9th ward featured the closest race, where Alderwoman Tina Peel survived by just 8 votes and advanced to take on newcomer Michael Browning.
That every single vote counts. It's really important to get out and vote.
It's really important to have your voice heard.
At the Board of Elections,
numbers are up.
After lackluster turnout in the March primary, election officials are urging voters not to take those initial results for granted.
There were some races you saw back in 21 that where the candidate that quote unquote won the primary ended up losing the general.
In the new 14th ward, Representative Rasheen Aldridge is taking aim at the top vote getter.
There were some questions with residency.
At this point, Rasheen is just, to me, it's an act of desperation.
Ebony Washington won the primary in the new 14th ward, but faced questions about where she really lived.
This is my permanent residence, always been my permanent residence.
Washington, a first-time candidate, blitzed the ward with phone calls like this.
Please get out and vote on Tuesday, April the 4th. Ebony M. Washington, Alderwoman of the new 14th Ward.
2 seconds later, I get this text. I was just like, who is this?
Devontae Saunders says when he told the Washington campaign he was voting for Aldridge, someone sent him these homophobic text messages.
I don't feel like that's right in any way, just because, your sex preference, that shouldn't deter you from voting for somebody.
What happened there?
I have no clue.
Washington denies involvement. Aldridge said there's only one campaign with motive.
As long as I've been in politics, this is probably the dirtiest I've seen.
I think it's another one of his tricks just to try to make me look bad.
It's complete hatred. It's complete bigotry. I know I deal with this on the state level. I didn't expect I'd be dealing with this on the local level in a city full of Democrats.
Ebony Washington and Rasheen Aldridge were scheduled to appear face-to-face on the same stage at a forum tonight, but things were so intense in that 14th ward, neither of them showed up. They were both no-shows. Aldridge said he didn't trust the moderators to give him a fair shake. Washington said she had a family emergency come up. Of course, both of them hope there's a better turnout at the polls tomorrow. Reporting live downtown, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Developing election news tonight, 2 of the 3 candidates for the Melville School Board have been disqualified. The Missouri Ethics Commission says current board president Peggy Hassler and board member Emma Jean Preto failed to file a financial interest statement on time. County election officials say the names will still be on the ballot tomorrow, but any votes for these 2 candidates won't be counted. 3 seats are open on the board, so this means 2 will remain vacant until the board appoints new members. The polls open at 6 a.m. They close at 7 p.m. We've put together a voter guide. Just text the word VOTE to 314-425-5355. We'll send that straight to your phone. We're following more than 400 races tomorrow night. Our Decision 2023 coverage begins at 7 p.m. at KSTK.com/election. We'll have expanded results and analysis on 5 on your side at 10. Tonight, a second person is charged in connection to the murder of a St. Louis landlord. Desiree Rabb is now charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of 72-year-old Michael Kelly. According to charging documents, Rabb drove the alleged gunman James Cody to Kelly's office in North City last March. Kelly was shot several times while sitting in his truck. Investigators say Cody and Rabb were in a legal dispute with Kelly over unpaid rent. Tonight, 1 woman is dead. Another is under investigation after a shooting in Festus. It happened Friday night at a home on South 5th Street. New tonight, our Robert Townsend went to the Jefferson County neighborhood to learn more about what happened.
Police and people who live on South 5th Street in Festus say this is typically a quiet neighborhood, but investigators say around 11:30 Friday night, gunshots rattled the peace.
It's very shocking and disturbing that something like that would happen out here and so close to home.
I think it's scary because I have a child.
Police say when they got to the scene, a 40-year-old woman admitted that she fatally shot a 41-year-old in self-defense after the woman assaulted her inside this home. Neighbors say a middle-aged man lives here. No one was there when we stopped by.
The man came out crying. He broke to his knees and said, "She's shot." And then we heard later that it was a woman that broke in the house and attacked a woman that was there.
Police confirmed the man's current girlfriend shot his ex-girlfriend. They say as of Monday, they were still trying to determine a motive for the attack.
And it's still concerning knowing it happened literally right across the street from me.
Emergency responders tried to save the woman, but police tell us she died at the scene. Meantime, prosecutors are still reviewing this case. Police took the shooter into custody for questioning and later released her.
My heart goes out to all of them because it was a tragedy, and it was. And it maybe could have been prevented.
In Festus, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Police have not released the names of either woman. Also tonight, a Jennings woman is being held on a $1 million cash-only bond after a 17-month-old infant died after ingesting fentanyl and xylazine. That's a sedative used on horses and cattle. And court records show Mary Curtis is connected to 3 other child deaths linked to drugs. The St. Louis County Prosecutor's Office says at the time of the child's death last month, Curtis was out on bond on a similar charge in St. Louis City. A live look at Trump Tower in New York City tonight, where former President Donald Trump is spending the night. Just hours from now, he will surrender to authorities and become the first former president ever to face criminal charges. The president arrived in New York City from his Florida home earlier today. The still sealed grand jury indictment stems from the documentation of so-called hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 presidential campaign. Mr. Trump denies Daniels' allegations of a 2006 affair or any other wrongdoing. This case has serious political implications, but is it unprecedented? Tonight, our Verify team is looking into claims Bill Clinton made similar payments Here's Casey Decker.
Former President Donald Trump has been indicted on charges related to payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels, allegedly to keep quiet about an affair with him. It's the first time a former president has ever been indicted, but viral tweets claim it's not the first time a president has paid out hush money. They say former President Bill Clinton once gave $850,000 to an Arkansas state employee, Paula Jones. So let's verify. Did Bill Clinton pay Paula Jones $850,000 in hush money? Our sources are court records from the Eastern District Court of Arkansas, the Supreme Court, and the Starr Report, a special counsel investigation into President Clinton's conduct. In 1994, Jones filed a civil lawsuit against Clinton for sexual harassment. In 1998, they settled out of court with Clinton paying Jones $850,000. But the accusations, the civil suit, the settlement, they were all public. Paula Jones wasn't paid to keep quiet. She received a settlement years after she shared her story with the press. So no, Bill Clinton did not pay Paula Jones $850,000 in hush money. He paid her that amount in a public legal settlement. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
What have you seen online? What questions do you have that we can verify? Send an email. The email address, verify@kstk.com.